Oh, separation anxiety. Like, I know how stressful it is. I've worked with so many people with this, and it can literally be at a point where, you may be thinking of getting rid of your dog, or you may be pulling your hair out because you just don't know how to keep your job and help your dog to be more relaxed. Or you might just be on the more minor end on just, you have a lot of empathy and you're just feeling like, gosh, how do I help my dog, be more relaxed? So if you haven't watched the previous video on separation anxiety, I would recommend it. I'm kind of doing a series here. But to lighten things up, because I know how stressful separation anxiety can be, I am doing a dog comment. So he's saying, I asked you if you wanted to pee, not go out on a date. When I said, do you want to go out? I meant to pee, not on a date. Oh gosh, my awesome uncle loves giving me that calendar for Christmas time, and it's fun. So, the first thing that I'm covering today, or what I'm actually going to cover today, is all about like how to know when your dog is stressed or relaxed. So most of us understand like when the panting and the pacing and the whining and the barking, that means our dog is stressed. Like I think that's a no-brainer for most people. But what about the more subtle signs? So we talked about, creating that confinement area or that area at your home to help your dog feel more comfortable, and then to, leave and then immediately return. Well, if you're immediately returning when your dog is barking, whining, and super stressed out, then I think most of you guys understand that you're probably rewarding that stressful behavior, and then you're just going to go in this circular cycle. So we actually want to return when your dog is maybe not relatively relaxed, because the first few times of doing it, they may not be extremely relaxed, but only like minorly stressed. So you want to think of our behavior, even our dog's behavior, kind of on a gradient type of scale. So we have, dog is relaxed. They might be lying down on their hip. They might be closing their eyes and kind of getting in a meditative type of response, right? Then a more gradient system of I'm starting to get a little bit more minorly stressed might be the dog is having trouble lying down, but they are doing what's called calming signals or displacement signals, which we'll cover today. And then from there, then they start going to the more extreme signals of destroying the house, peeing, barking, whining, going kind of crazy. So if we're doing this setup where we're training our dogs to be more relaxed and then we return, so again, you set up that relaxed area, right? And then you leave and then immediately come back. And for some of you that have the severe cases, you're not leaving the house. You're just walking outside of the confinement area and then walking in and immediately returning. And if you guys need more help with that, post in the comments below. This is an interactive call. Even if you're watching the recording, ask away, ask questions, because I want you to understand it. I want you to be able to apply it. So you walk out of the gate and then immediately return, so you're within your dog's sight if you're dealing with a severe case. But when you leave, for that 1 second and then coming back in that gated location, you want to make sure that your dog is either in that completely green relaxation part, which is probably unlikely, or B, up here, but not doing a whole bunch of calming signals. So Sherry Rodriguez is a great person to get her book and to kind of learn more about. You can get it from the library. It's on Talking Terms Calming Signals by Cherd Rodriguez. I think it's T-U. Let's look up her spelling so that I can help you guys out. It's T-U-R-I-D-R-U-G-A-A-S. Cherd Rodriguez. And I think her book's amazing. Everyone's always told me they've liked it. It's only 60 pages and it's got a lot of pictures. So when your dog starts getting minorly stressed, before they're all the way up here in the red, doing all that destruction behavior, all that noise, they're going to do some signals that show that they're getting minorly stressed. So that could be a look away. So let's say they go to the gate, that you have them confined in, and then they do a look away. And maybe look at the gate again, they do another look away, okay? or maybe they just keep doing the look away. Or they could take their whole body and do like a shake off and then stop. It could be a yawn, or it could be eye blinking, which may be difficult to see. It could also be they just all of a sudden just start sniffing the ground. So remember, when you go to leave, I do recommend that you give a food oriented toy. Well, once they've completed eating that toy, if they go to sniffing the ground and there's no food around and they're used to being in this area, then that could also be a calming signal. So those are a few like major ones that I see a lot of dogs doing that are coming to my mind right now. If a few more come later on, I'll let you know. But basically, you want your dog to be doing a minimal amount of those or none of them. So if they're, if you leave and, you're gone for like a second, a minute max, if they're in the more minor end of separation anxiety. But if they're in the severe and you're literally leaving for just 1 second, you should be returning and they're not doing any of those calming signals at all. And then you keep repeating that step until you're seeing they're doing no calming signals. Okay? So you don't just be like, oh, okay, you didn't whine or bark or whatever when I walked out and was gone for a second and then I returned, now I'm going to go up to 2 seconds. That's not how it works. You actually keep repeating that in and out until your dog starts getting more into the green. They start kind of lying down, closing their eyes, maybe going on the side of their hip or doing some sort of major relaxation. Or pretty close to that, right? It might not be perfect. I handle every case differently when I work privately, but generally we want to start getting into that green as close as we can. If they're showing like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 calming signals, then we know they're approaching going up in the red. So then you need to make it easier. So maybe you can't even leave for a second. Maybe you can just only open the door and shut it while you're in the confinement area with them. So you're standing here, your dog is actually in here with you, and you just open the door and shut it and you don't even leave. You're doing the approximation that your dog actually can have success in and be either in the green, which is unlikely, or just a minor level of stress. So they're showing, maybe they're just standing there and not doing calming signals, or they're just literally just doing 1 or 2, and then choosing to stand or lie down. So again, you got to do that gradient system. So that's the number one thing that I notice that people don't get is they don't do the process slow enough. They rush through it so fast that when they do even that first step, their dog's already in that panic attack mode. So again, you want to do that gradual progression and learn about those calming signals or those displacement signals so that you can have success. And then when you're returning, then you've actually rewarded the dog for being in more of a relaxed state. And then you keep repeating it until your dog is starting to get more and more relaxed at that same approximation. So your dog is like, oh, this isn't so bad. It actually becomes boring to them. So I hope that's helpful for you. Post in the comments below. I absolutely want to hear any questions that you may have so I can help you get your dog to be more calm. And if you are, interested in private help, I can work with you privately. When I do separation anxiety, I do it all online, live on Zoom. I do not want to come into your house. I'm an added variable. It adds way too many kinks. Your dog's excited to see me a lot of times, and we need to get them to meditate. So we have that screen set up so I can see the dog's true behavior, and we can work with more relaxation as you're leaving. So you definitely can message me below if you're interested in that or wanting to learn more about it. I'm looking forward to hearing from you guys. Have a great day. Bye-bye.